In today's class, we are going to discuss Chapter 3 Coordinate Geometry of Class 9th NCERT. The horizontal axis is known as x-axis and the vertical axis is known as y-axis. This is my positive x-axis and is denoted by x. This is my negative x-axis and is denoted by x dash. Positive y-axis is denoted by y, and similarly the negative y-axis will be denoted by y dash. Point where these two coordinate axes intersect is known as origin, and the coordinates of origin are given by 0, 0. Next, how we are going to denote any coordinate or any point on the given plane? The way to write a coordinate, first we are going to write the x coordinate, then y coordinate. X coordinate is also known as abscissa, and the name given to the y coordinate is ordinate. Now what do you understand by the term abscissa and ordinate? Abscissa is basically the perpendicular distance of any point from y-axis, and the term ordinate is used to denote the perpendicular distance of any point from x-axis. Next, as you can see, these coordinate axis has divided the plane into 4 parts. These 4 parts are named as quadrants. This is my first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, my x-axis is positive as well as y-axis. So both the coordinates lying in the first quadrant will be positive. For the second quadrant, my x-axis is negative and y-axis is positive. For the third quadrant, x-axis is negative as well as y-axis. So both the coordinates of the point lying in the third quadrant will be negative. For the fourth quadrant, x-axis is positive and y-axis is negative. Many a times questions are asked where you are given with certain points and you have to denote in which quadrants these points are lying. So learning this science will be helpful in solving these types of questions. Next, there are conditions where the point lies on the axis. For example, when a point is lying on the x-axis, the y coordinate will be 0. Or we can say if the y coordinate of any point is 0, we will say the point is lying on x-axis. Similarly, if x coordinate is 0, we will say that the point is lying on the y-axis. In which quadrant or the axis do the following points lie? We have already discussed the quadrants and the signs of the coordinates lying in that. Based on that, I have prepared a table here. My first coordinate is -2, 4. X coordinate is negative and y coordinate is positive. X negative and y positive is in second quadrant. So this point will be lying in the second quadrant. Next, 3, -1. X is positive and y is negative. X positive, y negative is the case for the fourth quadrant. So this point will be lying in the fourth quadrant. Next is -1, 0. The special point to know here is 1 coordinate is 0. When 1 coordinate is 0, the point will lie on the axis. If x coordinate is 0, we will say the point lies on the y-axis, and if the y coordinate is 0, we will say that the point lies on the x-axis. So here my ordinate is 0, the y coordinate is 0. This means the point will be lying on the negative x-axis. Next is 1, 2. X coordinate is positive as well as y coordinate. Positive case is for the first quadrant. So my 1, 2 point will be lying on the first quadrant. Next is -3, -5. X negative as well as y. Both the negative is if the case of third quadrant. So this point will be lying in the third quadrant. So this is how we are going to judge by looking at the coordinates in which quadrant they are given with a certain graph and ask question based on these. For example, the first question that is asked here is write the coordinates of the point B. Look at the graph whereby point B is lying. I have to write the coordinates of point B. While writing the coordinates, first we will write x coordinate and then y coordinate. The x coordinate for the point B will be -5. So abscissa is -5. And the y coordinate for the point B will be 2. So the coordinates of point B are -5, 2. Next, write the coordinates of the point C. Locate point C on the graph. First write x coordinate and then y. The x coordinate for the point C is 5 and y coordinate for the point C is -5. So coordinates are 5, -5. Next, write the point with the coordinates as -3 and -5. X coordinate is -3. Start looking on the negative x-axis. -3. And y coordinate is -5. -3 and -5 are meeting at the point E. So the point represented by the coordinates -3 and -5 is E. Next it is asked, write the abscissa of D. By the word abscissa, we say the x coordinate. So for the point D, the coordinate x coordinate is 6. So abscissa for point D is 6. Next, write the ordinate for the point H. Ordinate means the y coordinate. So for the point H, the point lying on the y-axis is -3. So ordinate of point H is -3. Next it is asked, write the coordinates of point L and point M. For the point L is lying on the y-axis. This clearly shows the x coordinate is 0. So coordinates of point L will be 0, 5. Next, when we are going to write the coordinates of point M is lying on the x-axis. This means y coordinate is 0. So coordinates will be -3, we are given with certain points and we have to plot these points on the plane. First point here is -2, 8. So by the x-axis, we have to start with the point -2 and travel till we reach point 8 on the y-axis. So here I have reached point 8. So -2, 8 is my first point. Let's say A. The coordinates of A will be -2, 8. Next point we have to plot is -1, 7. Start traveling from the point -1 on the x-axis and travel till we reach point 7 on the y-axis. So start traveling from the point -1 and continue till you reach point 7. Okay. Let's say this is our point B. -1, 7. Next we have to denote the point 0, 3. 0 means this point is lying either on the x-axis or the y-axis. Now here the x coordinate is 0. This shows that the point will be lying on the y-axis. X coordinate 0, travel on the y-axis till you reach 3. Let's say this is my point C, 0, 3. Next I have to denote the point 3, -1. Start traveling from the x, +3 till you reach -1. -1 means I have to travel downwards now. Starting from the 3, reaching -1. This is my point D, 3, -1. Next I have to locate the point 1, 4. Start from the positive x-axis with coordinate 1 and travel till you reach point 4. So this will be your coordinate 1, 4. Let's say this is point E. Next you should mark the quadrants. This is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant.